everyone, my name is Lucky Chitopali, and today we will be going over some SAT math practice problems in the No Calculator section. So let's start off with this problem. We have x squared minus 1 over x minus 1 equals negative 2. And the question is asking, what are all values of x that satisfy the equation above? And the options are A, negative 3, B, 0, C, 1, and D, negative 3 and negative 1. So let's solve it out. First, I'm going to write the equation, the original one they gave us. X squared minus 1 over x minus 1 equals negative 2. So now we're going to multiply both sides by x minus 1. So let's write that out. X squared minus 1 over x minus 1 times x minus 1 over 1 equals negative 2 times x minus 1. So now, once we simplify on the left-hand side and distribute on the right-hand side, we would be getting x squared minus 1 equals negative 2x plus 2, because here we just cross cancel, and here negative 2 times x is negative 2x, and negative 2 times negative 1 is just positive 2. So now we're going to be subtracting negative 2x plus 2 from both sides. So let's rewrite this out. X squared minus 1 minus negative 2x plus 2 equals negative 2x plus 2 minus negative 2x plus 2. Now we just simplify this, and we would be getting x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals 0. So now we're going to factor x squared plus 2x minus 3, and I'm going to be using the box method for this factoring. You can use any method you like, but just to show you the steps to factoring in the box method, I will be using this method this time. And so we have x squared, my mistake, we have x squared, and we have negative 3 as our constant. So obviously x times x is the only way to get x squared, and next to get negative 3 we can either do negative 3 and 1 or negative 1 and 3. We can test both out, but right now I'm going to test out 3 and negative 1 and fill in the other two boxes. So 3 times x is 3x, and negative 1 times x is negative x, and we know that 3x minus x would be 2x, so we know that we're correct in the option of choosing 3 and negative 1. So we now know that these are our factors, so let's just write them down. So x minus 1 times x plus 3 equals 0. So here we would get the, first of all, x minus 1 equals 0, and x plus 3 equals 0. So if x minus 1 is 0, then x would equal 1. And if x plus 3 is 0, then x would equal negative 3. So these are the two x values we got. Now we are going to plug these x values back in to make sure they're correct. So let's start off with x equals 1. So we would write this as 1 squared minus 1 over 1 minus 1 equals negative 2. However, this is incorrect because 1 squared is just 1, so 1 minus 1 is 0, and for the denominator 1 minus 1 is also 0, and 0 over 0 is undefined, so 1 is not an x value. Now let's try for negative 3. So let's plug in negative 3 back into the original equation. So negative 3 squared minus 1 over negative 3 minus 1 equals negative 2. So let's see if this is right. Negative 3 squared would just be 9, and 9 minus 1 is 8, so the numerator would be 8. And in the denominator, negative 3 minus negative 1 would be negative 4. So we have 8 over negative 4, which simplifies to negative 2. So we are correct, and our answer would be option A, which is just negative 3. So x equals negative 3. So for the next problem, we have the graph of y equals f of x is shown in the xy plane, and what is the value of f of 0? And the options are A, 0, B, 2, C, 3, and D, 4. So y equals f of x, and the value of f of 0 equals y when x equals 0. So with that rule in mind, let's see where x equals 0. So let's see where the graph touches where x is equal to 0. So we see that the graph touches x equals 0 at the point 4, well, the point 0, 4. So when x equals 0, y equals 4. Therefore, f of 0 equals 4. From this, we have our answer as D, 4. So, for our next problem, we have the question, in the figure above, point B lies on line AD, and what is the value of 3x? So, first of all, we know that a line is 180 degrees, so we can start off by writing line AD equals 180 degrees. From this, we know that everything making up this line should equal to 180 degrees. And another detail we can see is that over here we have the square box, and that signifies that this angle is in fact a right angle, and right angles are always 90 degrees. So we know that this angle right here is 90 degrees. So right now we know that the 90 degrees plus the x plus the 2x plus another 2x should all together equal 180 degrees. So let's just write that out. So 90 degrees plus x degrees plus 2x degrees plus 2x degrees equals 180. Sorry, it's a little scrunched up there. And now we're just going to subtract 90 degrees from both sides so we can have variables and constants on their own separate sides. So we have, if we subtract 180 minus 90, it's just 90. So now we have x degrees plus 2x degrees plus 2x degrees equals 90 degrees. And now let's just simplify the x's. So 2x plus x would just be 5x degrees. 5x degrees equals 90 degrees. So now to get x by itself, we're going to have to divide both sides by 5. So 90 divided by 5 would equal 18. So we have x degrees equals 18 degrees. And now you might think to choose option A, 18. However, we need to completely read out the problem because sometimes the SAT likes to trick us a little bit. So the second part of the problem says, what is the value of 3x? And right now we just have x degrees equals 18 degrees. So all we need to do to get 3x would just be multiply both sides by 3. So 3x degrees, so 18 times 3 would just be 54. So the value of 3x is 54, and in our options, option C is equivalent to 54, so that is our answer. So for our next problem, we have the question, a circle in the xy plane has a center 5, 7 and a radius 2, and it's asking which of the following is an equation of the circle. So we have A, x minus 5 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals 4, B, x plus 5 squared plus y plus 7 squared equals 4, C, x plus 5 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals 2, and D, x plus 5 squared plus y plus 7 squared equals 2. So before attempting this problem, let's talk about the equation of a circle. So the classic or basic equation for a circle would be x squared plus y squared equals radius squared, or you can write r squared. However, when a circle is moved x units from the left or right, or y units up and down, we use the formula x minus h whole squared plus y minus k whole squared equals radius squared, or r squared. So in this case, we see that the center is not the origin, which the origin would be 0, 0. Here it is 5, 7. So we substitute these values into our equation. So we have x minus 5 would be our h value, x minus 5. Let me write that with a different color. X minus 5 whole squared plus y minus, okay, so 7 is our k value, so y minus 7, whole squared equals r squared. And here we can just put our radius in place of r because we know that our radius is 2. So it would be, we're given 2, so it would be equals radius squared, so 2 squared. So let's just write that out in a more simplified way again. So x minus 5 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals 2 squared, which would equal 4. So let's see which of the options fit this. So x minus 5 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals 4, and that would be option A. So people might accidentally put option B because they get the formula wrong, and since they automatically see 5 and 7, they just assume that it would be x plus 5 and y plus 7. However, you need to just plug in your h and k values into the equation to get it. So we just plugged in 5 and 7, so it would be x minus 5 and y minus 7. Therefore, our answer is option A, x minus 5 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals 4. Now, I just want to show you the graph of this circle. You don't need this to solve this problem, but I just wanted to show you because we have the opportunity right now, and I've never made a video about this. So we see that obviously the equation's not at the origin, it's x minus 5 for the x, so instead you might think we have to go to the negative side, but no, since due to the equation like I said earlier, so x would be at 5 and y would be at 7. So our center is 5, 7. They even give it to us in the equation, but in the problem, but we're trying to graph it through the equation. So 5, 7, let's just, so that's the center. And we know that the radius is 2 because r squared, so square root of 4 is 2. So we just make sure, how do I write this out? The radius is 2 units outwards. So this is not the best representation of a circle, but the circle would be something around this. So for our next problem, we have in the figure above, triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. What is the value of cosine E? And the options are A 12 by 15, A 12 by 5, B 12 by 13, C 5 by 12, and D 5 by 13. So we see our two triangles. Our triangle ABC, we're given the lengths 12, 13, and 5, and we know it's a right triangle. And for triangle DEF, all we're given is that these two triangles are similar. So we know that cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so if we were to find the cosine of B, that would be adjacent, which is 12, and hypotenuse, which is 13, so it would be 12 over 13. And here we know that both of the triangles are similar, so we don't know the lengths of DEF. However, the angles would be the same as of ABC. That would also mean that the cosines are the same. So cosine B would equal cosine E. So therefore, cosine E would also equal 12 by 13. And that is option B, so that is our answer. Thank you for watching my SAT math practice, no calculator section, and make sure to like and subscribe for more of these SAT math videos, and thank you for watching.